Have you heard from the Thai hostages that have been released? And if so, what have they said about their experience in Gaza?
คือผมไม่ได้พูดคุยนะฮะเพราะว่าทาง
I didn't speak to them. They're not allowed to speak with anyone outside their families until 48 hours after their release. But they have all told their families they were well taken care of, well looked after, given shelter, clothes, food and water, and given mental support.
What were you told by Hamas about the conditions that the Thai hostages were being held under?
คือผมได้รับทราบตลอดเลยนะครับตั้งแต่ครั้งแรกที่มีการพูดคุยว่า
Hamas told me they were prisoners of war, that they mostly lived in tunnels, but some stayed in the refugee camps, some stayed in houses.
Do you think the Thai hostages were being treated differently to the Israeli hostages?
ผมคิดว่าการดูแลตัวประกันทั้งหมด
No, I think Hamas kept the same standard because they follow Islamic law, especially protecting children.
Your group said early on that the Thai hostages were being looked after. Why were you so confident that was the case?
เพราะที่เราไปพูดคุยนะครับกับทางฮามาสเนี่ยผมได้
Our group talked to Hamas 5 times as representatives of the Thai House Speaker and leader of Shia Muslims in Thailand. On every negotiation, they confirmed to us that the Thais were captured as war prisoners and would always be treated according to the Quran and Islamic law. So I was confident Hamas would take care of the Thai workers, and you could see in the workers who were released, they had good interactions with Hamas.
Is this just all part of a deal that's been done with Hamas? They released Thai citizens and the hostages have to all say they were treated well.
ไม่มีครับฮามาสไม่ได้พูดอะไรเกี่ยวกับเรื่อง
When we negotiated with Hamas, they didn't give any requests or conditions for release. They just said that the Thai hostages would be freed when there's a ceasefire.
But Hamas did kill at least 39 Thai citizens.
คือจากจำนวนตัวเลขที่รัฐบาลไทยแถลง
39 Thais were killed, that's for sure. But we don't know where or how. It's a war.
It is indisputable that families were murdered by Hamas on October the 7th. Why did you feel so sure that they would protect hostages?
คือวันที่ฆ่าวันแรกนะครับวันที่ฆ่าวันแรก
Definitely, it is a war. There was killing on both sides, but the main point of Hamas going there was to capture hostages and to use them for deals to help the Palestinians.
Just to be clear, you're not denying that Hamas killed Israeli civilians, are you?
คือผมยืนยันตามคำแถลงของฮามาส
According to Hamas, they only wanted to kill Israeli soldiers, not civilians.
Are you sympathetic with Hamas's cause, and do you think that's in part why you've been able to negotiate the release of Thai citizens?
คือถ้าถามว่าผมเห็นใจหรือเปล่านะฮะผมก็ต้องเห็นใจพี่น้องชาว
I sympathize with the Palestinian people. After more and more wars, the land was taken and eventually Palestinians were refugees and made second-class citizens. You don't have to be a Muslim to have sympathy for Palestinians.
เป็นแผ่นดินของชาวปาเลสไตน์
Why do you think you've been more successful than other nations like the Americans in negotiations?
ผมคิดว่าผมไม่ใช่นักการเมือง
We went there to negotiate as normal people, not politicians. Hamas saw this. They saw us as Thai Muslims. We were civilians, and that's why they decided to release the Thais. They promised that if there was a ceasefire, Thai people would be released in the first group. Now we can obviously see Thais are among the first citizens to be released compared to 20 other nationalities.
You went with a small group to Iran to have talks. We know Iran helps to fund Hamas. How critical do you think Iran was in helping to free Thai citizens?
คือผมยอมรับว่านะครับว่าหลังจากที่เราไปเจรจากับฮามาสโดยตรงผมขอเรียนอย่างนี้ก่อนว่า
I'd like to thank Iran, both the government and the people who have been supportive in negotiating with Hamas. They know Thailand has good relations with the Islamic world and Iran. We spoke with so many high-ranking Iranian people. The highest ordered the Iranian foreign minister to negotiate with Hamas to help us.
What about the remaining hostages? How confident are you that they will be released, and when?
ผมหวังว่าตัวประกันไทยจะได้รับการปล่อยตัวเนี่ย
I hope they will be released in the coming days, but Hamas would like the Thai people and the Thai authorities to hear this message. The border area is disputed land and it's wartime, and Hamas will consider anyone who works there is working for the outlaws.
มากกว่า
They say they won't have time to look at the nationalities or passports of people on the land, but Hamas say it is okay to work in other parts of Israel.
Do you think that Hamas was justified in taking hostages from Israel?
คือจะถามว่ามีความชอบธรรมไหมต้องบอกว่ามีความชอบธรรมจริง
Yes, because there are more than 6,000 Palestinians captured in the past and their families can't visit them. No one heard their cries. The world didn't hear their cries. That's why Hamas had to do this, to get the world's attention focused on Israel's treatment of the
นานา
Palestinians.
ประเทศไม่ได้ยินเสียงของพวกเขา
You have had very close-up talks with Hamas. Knowing what you've heard and seen, do you think they're going to release all of the hostages in the next couple of days?
ผมขอเรียนแบบนี้ก่อนนะฮะ
I've only spoken with the political side of Hamas, not the military wing, but personally, I don't think they'll release them all at once. They want to negotiate more and achieve change to get help for the people of Gaza.
คือเป็นกองพันที่ใช้ชื่อว่าอัลกาซาม